Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm Michelle Wright, your host and fellow traveler on this journey of self-discovery. This podcast is designed for women navigating life transitions and yearning to embrace their true selves. I'll be sharing my personal journey from navigating the complexities of divorce and blending families to reshaping my career to something that resonates with my soul. With 3 decades as a teacher and mentor, I'm here to share insights, heartfelt stories, and practical strategies. Together, we'll explore how to cultivate self-love and create the vibrant, fulfilling life you deserve. Join me each week as we dive deep into the art of living authentically. Welcome to the Lead with Your Soul podcast. My name is Michelle Wright, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to be touching base in the middle of January on the soul messages. This is where I'm going to be talking about what's been coming in for me this mid-month, and I'm going to pull some cards. So for me, January has really been about actually almost that hangover from December. From the celebrations of Christmas and everything that went well. And then all of a sudden I found as I dove into January, I had depleted energy. I didn't want to move forward. And in some ways, I found myself really getting stuck. And Carolyn Myss had an email come through my email box, my inbox today. And it talked about healing is not a project. So that means it's not something you do just once and it's done. Healing is a lifestyle, and it's a continual looking at how you're healing. And for me, last week, that was really important. And I was stuck. I had all of these videos that I was working on, trying to create for my YouTube channel. Just go over and check those out. Those are the 2026 year forecast by Zodiac at Lead with Your Soul podcast over on YouTube. You can find the link on my Instagram account, michellewright.co. You can find it in there as well. And I had all this work to do. I had a lot of workflow that I'd put on hold for my business and for myself because of the holidays. We had our wonderful kids home for a really long time. And that was beautiful to spend time in family because as they're adults and with their own partners in their own lives, we actually have less time that we're together like that. So we found it a real gift and enjoyed it so deeply. And then it was time to get back into work. And I found myself in the stuckness, also then spiraling downwards in anxiety, in fear, in doubt. And this is where I'm also taking a course with Christy Yael, an abundance course. So it's about manifesting. It's excellent. This is Christy Yael, this sacred life, in case you're interested. And she's been talking about different aspects. And a lot of it is about how do we hold the energy of who we are trying to create or what we're trying to create. But really it's who, because it's all an inner job. How do we hold that for ourselves as we look down into the future at the end of 2026, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and really getting that sense of holding it? And one of the ways that she talked last week was about these leaks that we have because of fear and anxiety. So we pop out of manifestation. We pop out. And we go back into our fears, go back into the stories we tell ourselves. We also can have lots of loops open. So I had so many things that I had to do, people I had to call, things that were undone, and I just didn't go through them. So energy was just leaking out. No wonder I didn't have any energy. And this is where the healing is a lifestyle. I had to really recognize and hold what was happening. So yes, my thinking was spiraling into a lot of self-doubt, and I had to be honest with why. And this is where healing is a lot of inner work as well. And it's me, and it's my choice to do it or not do it. So I can stay in the victim consciousness and I can stay in that spiral, or I can choose to move forward with healing. Healing is a lifestyle. So this means it's going to be happening every day, many moments in every day. It's going to be happening all the time. It's my lifestyle. I am recognizing that I am this human. As well, I am this beautiful spirit that agreed to come down in a soul agreement and come and live this life. My essence of my soul knows my highest potential, and it is tied directly and tethered directly to the universe, to source consciousness, to the divine. It's tied directly there. And so when I can stay in the vibration of that tether and know what I can look like in the continued healing and development of myself moving forward, it is easier. But we pop out because we're human, because we're 3D. But healing being a lifestyle means I am continuously coming back and being honest with myself. Is this a time when these emotions are real? And when I say real, meaning that I am being triggered and I have to honor these emotions at this moment. And it might be from core childhood wounds, and I need to deal with those. And you might deal with them through therapy, might deal with them through Reiki, through shaman work. I know for myself, I have had all of those, not shaman. So I've had Reiki, I have had lots of therapy. So I know what's going on. And so for me, I start to journal, and that allows me to process and be present with my feelings, and I hold them and I allow myself to release them so that it's no longer a block. And then I'm moving forward. And this is where this week in the Abundance Course, she was talking about Neville Goddard. So I'm going to be looking more deeply into him on YouTube. So maybe you want to as well. And he is looking at the quantum physics aspect of manifestation and just really talking about how do we stay in that abundant field, in that the spirit connected to the divine, which is completely abundant. We live in that world of abundance. And it's only our lack of being able to sustain that vibration and live in that vibration and that magic and the amazing aspects that come in that knock us out, because we either can't hold it, we can't stay focused, we don't know how. And I'm getting closer. So for me, I'm getting closer. And that's exciting. I know last week, this truck almost backed right up into me, but they didn't. It literally hit my butt. So I would have been crushed and in deep pain, but it didn't happen. This is a miracle. And I can't imagine how many miracles of negative things don't happen because it has all flowed in exactly the way it needs to flow. And I am beginning to realize that when it doesn't flow, I'm actually having a judgment of good and bad. So a duality of if I'm good, then I am going to continue to get good things happen to me. And I have to tell you, this is a lot of the thinking and teaching from my beautiful religion that I grew up with. I love many things about it, and there are many challenges that I am moving away from because it was a hierarchy. It's not serving me in the same way anymore. So I'm moving away from it. And because I'm moving more into recognizing that everything that is happening for me, so if I'm connected as this beautiful spirit, connected to my highest potential and abundance that I can have access to, when things are happening to me, they're happening not to me, but they're happening for me. It's for my growth. It's for my development. It's for me to move forward and begin to up level so that I can receive and hold the abundance that's coming in. And so I'm working at that and I'm getting closer. And one client I worked with, we were talking about, and she's, as we're doing the reading, and it's this The cards, they see where you need to be honest with yourself. They see how you can change your thinking. And you start to have this dialogue. And she said, this is going to be a lot of hard work. And I said, yes, it is. And doesn't that suck sometimes? And we just laughed. Because it does. Healing being a lifestyle means there is this deep work that we're doing. And sometimes it's really deep, and sometimes it's just healing. It's not as deep. But we are doing this forever, looking at our triggers, moving forward, recognizing how we can live in that high vibration and connecting to source as much as possible. I don't know about you. How was your January? How are you feeling about this energy and what is happening? Are you recognizing that you have a hangover from December? Are you able to reframe? It's happening to you, it's happening for you. And what do you think about healing being a lifestyle? That this is your inner work and it's our choice to show up or not show up. What do you think about that? I have some cards here that I pulled. This is the old magic way. And this is clarity. And we have this trickster here. The fox is often known as the trickster. And so it's us finding clarity. And I know January is about finding that clarity and finding what is important to us. Because of the astrology, actually, January for 2026 is pretty good. So this is where we can get a jump start on what we're trying to do, what we're trying to build. And so finding clarity for yourself, finding clarity in your reframe, finding clarity in what you're trying to create. January is that time of clarity. And it offers that to you. And the beautiful Mary Faywood Oracle, I did an unboxing, go look over, I just love it, is the maple. And the maple is talking about joy, growth, and harmony. And so that's the piece, is that if we are clear on how we want to build joy and growth and harmony in our lives, that's that high vibration. We need to be clear on what our trajectory is. Where are we going? And it isn't looking for evidence of it. It's actually surrendering deeply into the trust of it and the divine timing with the universe. And just know that it's coming. It is yours just by your birthright, just by your soul contract. It is your birthright. It is coming. And it shows, I have 2 water coming in. Interesting. Ended up pulling 2 old magic ways. It has offerings, and offerings is this water. So it is a flow of water, and it is an offering of what are you bringing? What are you offering for what you're trying to come forward with? And in here, there is this deck has that Celtic connection of God and goddesses. So it's offering this to the God and goddesses. I see it more, what am I offering myself? If I want this transition, what am I offering? How am I building this in for myself? And I did talk about the clarity, and I did talk about understanding where I want to build in the joy and the harmony. The other thing that I'm offering myself is an honesty that this is inner work and it's mine, and I can choose it or not choose it. I can choose to be healing as the lifestyle, be awoken, be awake, and do this work. And when I recognize that I'm spiraling downward, I have the choice to reframe it. I have the choice to deal with what's happening and change my thinking, change my energy. And that is all mine. I am the gatekeeper of the energy. And when I say that, I had this aha today. It's hard because I have wonderful stories I've told myself where I'm the victim. It's not fair. And look at me. It's so bad. And the offering for me is that I am recognizing that I need to give that up. I need to offer all of that to the healing of my spirit team, because I have the ability to be present and I have the ability to heal and stay conscious and look for the magic and miracles that are around me, look for the abundance around me. And recognizing every moment is exactly that. It is a moment of growth. In whatever way that situation comes to me, it is a moment of growth. And then the beautiful Colette Baron-Reid Shaman deck also has water. Water, which is the flow, connecting with your emotions, understanding them, controlling them, and recognizing that you are the gatekeeper of these emotions and that there is an ebb and flow of them. So I think in healing, in some ways, I thought it is a project. I have healed. I am done. I did the work. I went to the Reiki. I went to the therapist. I'm now done. So I've done the spirituality. I've got the cards. I've done the course. I'm done. It's a project, but it's not. The water comes in. This card is really talking about this ebb and this flow, this ebb and flow of energy, this ebb and flow of the universe, this ebb and flow that's going to help us spiral towards growth, towards what we're creating in our life. And flowing. In the last Pisces reading I had, it just so much water was in it, and it was talking about flowing, this idea of flowing down a river and recognizing when, if you're fighting it. I had the analogy of the kayaks going down the water chutes in the Olympics, and they have to go around and around all these different chutes. And if you stay flexible, if you stay focused, if you stay just going with the flow, with the water, then you can go down quite easily. But in life, oftentimes we make ourselves so dense with our emotions, and we do not go with the flow because we want to control it, control the timing, control other people, control our expectations of what we predicted would happen. That's what happens with me, at least. And so then I get this almost like a hole in my boat, and I become really dense and I start to sink. So it's really hard to navigate the river with your boat half full of water. It does not turn really well. It does not flow. In fact, it feels like you're sinking. And that is the water. That is the analogy that's coming in with this flow of water, allowing this energy to flow and really finding ways that your body's energy is flowing. So for us, it really is looking at how we're eating and how we are moving throughout the day and what I am consuming in my technology, my beautiful phone, in what I'm consuming in the books and the podcasts. What is filling me? What is fueling me? Because that is also going to help me with my flow. And those are things that we have control over in our lives and control over to keep us at our best and highest vibrations. And I really do see, as you look at this, the clarity and then the flow and the creation and knowing what you're creating. January, it is so much that, because it's our 13 wishes from the winter solstice. It's our January intentions. It is the beginning of the year. It is the beginning of the number 1 year. There's so many ways in which we are seeking clarity and looking in how we can find joy and harmony and growth throughout this year. And it's that it's continuous. You're going to continue to need to offer yourself opportunities of growth, offer yourself compassion, offer yourself love. And above all, love is the most important. It just comes back to the inner work of learning to love yourself wholly and completely exactly as you are. And in that, loving you exactly as you are, you're able to release what doesn't serve you and lets you move forward. And that is a continual healing lifestyle. As you float down your river of life, different obstacles come in and different eddies and different curves in the river. And this year, in that analogy, for some of us, there's going to be big waterfalls and shifts. So in the astrology, there's some big shifting that's going on because these outer planets are shifting into different houses. And that means they're moving generationally into different places in our charts. And they're just big shifts for us. And that's going to be, we as humans like to have things more constant. And this is a year of get ready for it. It's coming. But it's a year not to fear, because as you're going down the flow, you're getting clear about what you're trying to create for your life from an energetic perspective. What is it you want to feel like at the end of this year? I know for me, I want to look in the mirror and absolutely love who I am. And I mean that from the top of my head to my toes. I want to love my wrinkles. I want to love my fat. I want to love the dark circles under my eye. I want to love how I show up and teach on my podcast, on my YouTube channel. I want to love how I have sacred conversations with my clients. I want to love that I have this mission to help women listen to their souls as we go with the cards. I want to love that. I want to love this journey that I'm on. I want to love the shifts for me. And that's this journey that I'm starting in January, recognizing that my boat is going to get dinged as I go down the river. And I just want to go back to loving myself in the mirror. And that's going to be my check. It's going to be waking up in the morning and saying, Michelle, I love you. I love the essence of who you are becoming and who you are in this exact moment. I love you. What are you creating? What is your flow? What's your river? What's your boat? So many questions. And I invite you to go look at the zodiac. It's for the zodiac signs, for the year forecast. It's for sun, moon, and rising. And if you don't know what those are, then send me a DM on my Instagram and I can help you. I have a really good YouTube video and I can help you figure that out. And you can awaken to this beautiful, healthy lifestyle of healing. So until next time, my dear listeners, keep leading with your soul. That wraps up another episode of the Lead with Your Soul podcast. I'm so grateful you chose to spend this time with me. As you navigate your own life transitions, remember to be gentle with yourself and embrace the journey. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Join me next week for more insights and inspiration. Until next time, keep leading with your soul.